when two starts meeting, the first interaction that is created, what is created, supreme attributional principle, that is savishesha. So, from nirvishesha state, it moves to savishesha stage, that the two started interacting. So, we are not far away from physics. We are simply saying that, okay, we have understood this much, that matter is condensed form of energy, fine, but this is not pure state of energy, this is altered state of energy, it is not pure. So, there must be a time when the energy was just pure, nothing had yet happened. Think of that, that is the pre-creation stage. If there is a creation state, there must be a pre-creation stage as well. So, in that pre-creation stage, what existed was purest form of energy, energy in its pure form, and the consciousness also in pure form. So, the consciousness was principle, cognitive principle, and the energy was cognitive faculty, creative faculty. But when they started meeting, when they met first, when they started interacting with each other, they became attributional principle. And then there are two worlds from there on, bifurcation starts. When they meet, the situation is, yes, please give the whole, just go on pushing. When they meet, then there are two kinds of situations. One situation is that energy becomes prominent over consciousness, and the other scenario is that the consciousness is prominent over energy. This is the only two possibilities. When consciousness and energy start interplaying together, then there are only two possibilities. One possibility is that energy is over prominent over this, more than this, and this becomes recessive, dormant, because this is playing too much, it is all right. Or the other possibility is that this starts playing too much, controlling this one, because this has accepted to go in the interplay. So, sometimes this is more active, more prominent, sometimes this is more prominent. When this is more prominent, a subjective world is created, and when this is more prominent, objective world is created. The world of matter is created. So, the universe is bifurcated like that, subjective universe and the objective universe. Now, in the subjective universe, you have A and B area. In objective universe, you have A and B area. There are two stages of subjectivity and there are two stages of objectivity. Mind you, we are studying the same world, not a different world, but from a different vantage point, not from the same position. Einstein has already said it is the observer which is going to make the difference, what you get out of this world. And as you read the world, so you understand the world, and so you will use the world. Correct? If you have not understood the world this much, you won't be able to use the world this much. If you have understood the world only this much, you will use the world only this much. So, Baba is giving us a different vantage point to see the world from this window, what it is. Oh, I see. Oh, now I know how the mind interplays with the matter and how I can better use the matter and be in a position that I am more happier, the world is more charming and blissful than overpowering on me and trembling me down and crushing me down, trampling upon me. No. So, subjective A means what? The first thing of the creation on this side, and objective B is the first thing of creation on this side. So, subjective starts becoming crudified, and then objective starts from there, and objective becomes crudified. So, in the subjective area, Baba says, first thing is the knowing principle or the supramundane knowledge. And what is it? He explains, expressed energies of different characters, indestructible, interchangeable and intertransmittable energies. These are the first thing created in the universe. The first creation, first phase of creation was all kinds of energies were created. Now, you see, energy is very conscious. Energy is conscious, you can see, knowledgeable, knowing principle. First creation is the knowing principle. And what is the knowing principle? They are energies, supramundane knowledge, expressed energies of different characters, magnetism, electrical, or gravitational, or strong nuclear, weak nuclear, you can name it, all forms of energies. And again I will tell you, not only 4, infinite possibilities. One day we did not know the 4, maybe tomorrow we will know 500, or maybe just 1. Finally, we will get to senses and say, no, this is wrong, because it is not allowing us. So, better we think it is only 1, and the way we put it, the way it is expressed. You put through this prism, it will come out in this kind of effect, and if you put another density prism, it will come this kind, just give us this kind of stripes. So, it depends on the prism, where it passes through, but it is only 1 ray which becomes 7 here. So, knowing principle, then that knowing principle becomes doing principle. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing, you are still lying in the bed, but you are awake and you say, I am, yes, I exist, I did not die, I am here. I exist. The first thing is the knowing principle that I am. This is the first thing that happens. The first activation of energy in me gives me the sense of I am, knowing principle. And then that I am starts acting, doing things, leaving the bed, starting the brushing, going to fresh and dress up, and then seeing the routine, the engagements of the day, and doing principle. So, the knowing principle starts becoming doing principle, and the difference between the two is the doing principle is more involved, indulged than the knowing principle. Knowing principle is separated, is witnessing, is watching. Doing principle is engaged, involved, indulged with the second person, third person. Knowing principle is only with first person, no second person there. Me, I exist, I am, that is sentient. So, the knowing principle becomes doing. In doing principles, we start interplaying with the second party, third party, and everything and what is there. So, what is there in the doing principle? Supramundane seed of actional principle. The doing principle is actional principle, energy of action. That is the doing principle, ready for being sprouted. And now, what are they? Microvita of different characters, either positive or negative, collectively maintaining the balance of the actional universe, creating initial forms of carbon atoms. Carbon atoms are created, initial forms of carbon atoms that help macro and micro propensities in having their pure physical auxiliary media with mass and wants. Mass is created and the wants are created. Wherever there is mass, there is a wants. In mass, there is a desire. It is a very intelligent plan. He is allowing us to see through like that, see the world this way. Yes. So, the initial forms of carbon atoms. These carbon atoms are not only the carbon atoms that we know in chemistry, physical atoms. Carbon atoms are representing physical atoms. Okay. And but these atoms do what? They help macro and micro propensities in having their pure physical auxiliary media with mass and wants. What are the pure physical auxiliary media of the propensity? How to read this? These carbon atoms help create macro and micro propensities having their physical auxiliary media. The physical auxiliary media for the propensity are our endocrine glands. They are the media for our propensities, because when the propensities express, they immediately take the help of the endocrine, and the endocrine become hyper or hypoactivated, and they release a kind of chemical hormones in the bloodstream that goes through, gets distributed to the targeted area, and our muscles, our muscular activity starts, and we start behaving accordingly. So, you will find, we have found, we can see different racial stocks, different cultural stocks, they have different kind of glands in their bodies, because they have different kind of propensities predominant in their minds, in their actional world. So, the actional world and the physical body, they complement each other, they help each other, they are complementary to each other. So, your actional, your physical body is according to your actional world, and my physical body is according to my physical world. My actional world is suited to my needs, actional activity. Inner growth or the outer representation of my body is made of the carbon atoms and the kind of carbon atoms which are going to serve the purpose. So, that kind of carbon atoms, smell, there are various kinds of differences in a smell, and some you pick up, some you miss. Many times we say that I am not able to smell anything, but others are able to smell. So, the point here is that our glandular position, the glands or the DNA or the carbon which is producing those glands, the carbon atoms or the atoms, physical atoms, they are moved, or they create the auxiliary physical glands to substitute the needs, or to not substitute, complement the needs of the actional desire world. According to desire, the glands you have, and like that. So, the physical body, this is the, so here is the matching, the subjective B is starts in the matching of the subjective and moving the objective for its need to complement and create a complete set. If actional world does not have a corresponding physical instrument, it will create kind of psychic stress, because it is not having the instrument to express. So, the corresponding medium tool must be there for the action to get into expression, and this body is a tool for that purpose. So, this is the doing principle, and the doing principle of mind has the doing instrument, that is our body.